Does it get weirder than an egg with a smaller egg inside it that is a $6,000 pizzeria decoration? Welcome back, my fellow gamers. This is Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight. Today we're going to find out just how bizarre the animatronics can get in Five Nights at Freddy's as we count down the top 10 weirdest FNAF animatronics, part 2. If you love the channel and you enjoy our content, be sure to click that like, please do. Every time you click like, a new weird animatronic gets its remnant. It's true. Now let's dive into the strange yet glorious world of FNAF and explore some of the most lovably odd animatronics. Shall we? Number 10. Lolbit. I think the question becomes, why does Lolbit really exist? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Lolbit, but they are kind of just a strange twist or variation on Foxy. Lolbit first appeared as an animatronic in Sister location and is a recolored and female version of Foxy. Foxy with no hook hand and with lipstick. For us to understand why Lolbit was created, we would need to look at a clear and precise timeline to get an idea. Clear and precise timeline. Okay, so without that, we can theorize based on what we know that Lolbit probably came after the original Freddy, as Circus Baby's Pizza World was kind of a rebrand for the franchise, but also maybe was open while it was open. It's confusing. If Lolbit was a part of that crew and not made after Pizza World, just as a part of entertainment and rental, that is of course if Lolbit was made at the same time as all the Circus Baby's animatronics, and not just as a part of entertainment and rental. So, Lolbit was potentially made to be a less scary version of Foxy, no hook hand, no pirate theme, just a cute but still terrifying fox. But really the weirdest thing here is we don't really know if that is true, because we don't really know like 100% confirmed much of anything when it comes to timing or lore in the FNAF franchise. So just why Lolbit? Number 9. Lefty. Lefty is weird because it isn't really an animatronic of its own, but merely a storage device for the puppet. Lefty's name is also a sort of acronym in terms of what they were designed for, so don't be fooled by their rock star appearance. Lefty's name is actually an acronym that goes Lefte, but of course they are called and often referred to as Lefty instead because they hold their microphone in their left hand, implying that they themselves are a left-handed animatronic. Lefty stands for Lure, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, and Extract, revealing the meaning behind the name for this animatronic, and its purpose is actually much more sinister than you'd think just by looking at them. Lefty is also missing their left eye, but otherwise appears to be in pretty great shape, which is also kinda odd. Number 8. Ennard. I mean, just Ennard's existence is kind of weird, isn't it? Ennard is a combination of the main Circus Baby's entertainment and rental animatronics all combined together, but who for some reason like to appear as a horrifying clown. I guess that is the Circus Baby coming out? Is she the one who picked that outfit? I don't know. Add in the fact that eventually Ennard ends up wearing the protagonist as a human skin suit so that it can escape, or even stranger, that it somehow escapes without that suit and yet tracks the protagonist down anyways, who we know as Eggs Benedict, but of course assume is Michael Afton. And yeah, Ennard is a pretty strange animatronic, both when it comes to story and appearance. Number 7. Jack-o'-lantern. Just like Carl, aka Mr. Cupcake, who came before him on part 1 of this list, Jack-o'-lantern is another animatronic pal of Chica's, or more specifically a pal of Jacko-Chica's, the Halloween-themed version of Chica, who herself looks like a horrifying and bright jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern is also believed to appear in the FNAF 3 Halloween update, as the appearance for them is very similar to the lantern that appears on our desk in that update. Jack-o'-lantern replaces Chica's Cupcake for this version of the character and looks identical to your run-of-the-mill Halloween pumpkin jack-o'-lantern. Nothing too crazy to see here, which strangely makes the companion even weirder, because it just looks so normal. Number 6. Clown Springtrap. The Dark Circus event and special delivery brought us all kinds of strange but thematic animatronics. One of those happened to be a reimagining of Springtrap that I never expected to see. Clown Springtrap. This version of Springtrap wasn't clowning around too much though, so don't worry if you thought a jolly clown seemed out of the murderous Springtrap's wheelhouse when it comes to looks. It is called the dark circus event after all, and so this version of the animatronic was more of a scary clown. Clown Springtrap wields a terrifying hammer, all the better to smash you with, and is done up in white paint and clown makeup. This clown is not what you think of when you normally think of a fun circus clown. Clown Springtrap also seemed to have a bunch of chipped and jagged teeth. Kinda reminds me of the very disturbing Twisty from American Horror Story. Let's go to the circus, I guess? Number 5, amalgamation. Talk about weird and twisted versions of the animatronics blended together, a theme that seems to pop up in every corner of the FNAF franchise. For this animatronic, we need to turn to the novel trilogy for FNAF. Not to be confused with the Fazbear Frights books, which are a separate book series and kind of more of an anthology than a connected and continuous narrative like the trilogy is. In the third and final book in that trilogy, we meet that amalgamation, which is helping to keep William Afton alive and is a melted down, welded together mass of all of the original animatronics combined. Freddy, Golden Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and of course, Bonnie. Even more horrifying and bizarre, the amalgamation is not described as being remotely recognizable as these animatronics. Instead, its form appears as a lump of burnt and hot metal with clumps of wires and like metal tubing sticking out, visible here and there. Number 4, melted chocolate Bonnie. As though it wasn't odd enough that we got chocolate Bonnie last year for Easter in special delivery, the FNAF AR game, this year we got an even stranger Easter version of everyone's favorite bunny animatronic, melted chocolate bunny. I love this version because to me it implies that real chocolate was used in the creation of the version we saw last year. Either that or Fazbear's thought a melted version would be fun. So fun. I'm not sure which potential explanation I like better here for this gloriously strange and disturbing exclusive holiday animatronic skin. I hope all you special delivery fans had fun with this horror show over the Easter holidays. Let me know in the comments if you happen to run into a melted chocolate Bonnie animatronic. Is it weird that I also now want chocolate after talking about this? I know it looks really scary, that animatronic, but I'm just like, I could go for a chocolate bunny or a chocolate Bonnie. Number 3, paper pals. I mean, yeah, these are just paper plate creatures come to life, I guess. They aren't even really animatronics so much as just sentient paper plate, well, pals. Initially, the paper pals appeared in FNAF World. Each one is thought to represent a main antagonist from FNAF 2. Each one is thought to represent an antagonist from the franchise. There is a paper plate version of Freddy, a paper plate version of Bonnie, and what people believe to be a paper plate version of Balloon Boy, although that one's a little hard to tell, to be honest. And I mean, Balloon Boy is already a weird animatronic on their own because they're not even an animatronic themselves, but more of like a ceramic statue, I think, that comes to life. So yeah, a paper plate version of them that can move around on its own is pretty out there as far as concepts go for animatronics in the FNAF universe. Even though I know that FNAF World, I don't think we actually consider that to be canon, but I just want to talk about some cool paper plates. So please don't blame me. I like the paper pals. They're weird and lovely. They're just so low key. That's what I like. Just a paper plate with some little limbs. Number 2, Music Man. You'd think Music Man wouldn't mind loud sounds. After all, he is a music man who admittedly looks less like a man and more like some creepy humanoid spider combo thing, but who also carries around cymbals. You know what makes a lot of noise? Cymbals. But maybe it's just that only he is allowed to make the noise or music, according to his rules. And he is not a fan of competition when it comes to making noise or making sounds. Either way, in Pizzeria Simulator, Music Man becomes active throughout the night if you make too much noise doing your tasks in the office. So if you want to avoid running into this horrifying weirdo, be sure to keep the noise down. Although, always just a good idea to do that in Pizzeria Simulator, because any noise, you're gonna have some enemies approaching you. Number 1, Fruit Punch Clown. On part 1 of this list, we talked about another vendor bot animatronic available to you in FNAF 6, Pizzeria Simulator. Now it's time to continue on and talk about another strange vendor bot animatronic. Following the theme of how clowns can be weird and creepy, we have Fruit Punch Clown. Fruit Punch Clown is a fruit punch container and dispenser. Not only does this clown look extremely creepy with its over-exaggerated, gleeful expression, but every now and then it also says some pretty creepy stuff too. In his own minigame, the goal is to startle as many children as possible with his fruit punch alarm, which is already pretty strange, but there is also a small chance that after surprising the children, he might utter a sinister phrase. Tell anyone about this, and I'll cut your throat. Oh my. That is not a friendly phrase. What is your favorite animatronic? Which do you think is the weirdest animatronic? And do you love weird FNAF animatronics as much as we do? I personally love lots of little weirdos running around. Give me all the weirdos. I am a weirdo, so I feel like I connect with those animatronics. I'm not a weirdo as much in terms of the fruit punch clown, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely identify with some of these strange folks. If I were a weird animatronic, which one would I be? Let us know your thoughts about weird animatronics and which weird animatronic maybe you would be in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it is time to turn to some comments from one of our latest videos, Top 10 Weirdest FNAF Animatronics Part 1. Sandy Brown responds, I love them so much. Me too, Sandy, me too. Olivia Hewitt comments, I clicked so fast. Wow, I'm glad you clicked so fast. Thanks for coming in and being there early. Shadow Bonnie exclaims, how dare you call me weird? Also, Carl is underrated. I do not disagree with you, Shadow Bonnie, and I'm sorry I called you weird. Know that whenever I call someone weird, it's more a compliment than anything. It's not like weird as a bad thing. We should all celebrate our weirdness, I personally think. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts and feels shouted out in a future video. This has been Top 10 Gaming, and I'm your host, Amanda McKnight, reminding you to keep on gaming on. Pew pew!